And welcome to Walk the Plank, the podcast that will take a deep dive into the week that was Perry Athletics, and we'll preview the events of the upcoming week and the weekend, and I can promise you it's a busy one. Thanks for being here as always. My co-host to my right, Mr. Gene Winters.
Yeah, a couple consecutive busy weeks right in a row. A lot of home games and a lot of home events over the last couple of weeks. And again, you have another busy week coming up.
Absolutely, and the weather's been good so far. With our postseasons starting for all of our teams, and hopefully that will continue. I know we've got a little tenuous thing coming up with our track tournament we'll get into on Saturday with some rain in the forecast. But first things first, let's talk some softball. And our female athlete of the week here is Sophie Savang. Sophie, welcome to the show. Hello. All right. Well, congratulations. Coach Carino nominated you even prior to last night, but let's recap last night. Well, let me give you your food first. So since you've been here the last time, Sophie, you now get a box combo at Cane's, and you get your free meal deal and Blizzard from DQ. So enjoy that. Coming off the second perfect game of the season for you as a pitcher, last night against the Firelands Falcons as we hosted a district semifinal. The Pirates win 14-0, and we advance to the district final now tomorrow, Thursday the 21st, over at North Ridgeville High School. And so congratulations on that. Second perfect game, that's a pretty, if you've been around the sport of baseball or softball for a long time, that's a rarity in the sport. So what was working yesterday to allow you to throw a perfect game in such a big game like a district semifinal?
Just working in my screwball, my curveball, and keeping the hitters off balance, and attacking the zone, and not really just pitching strikes.
Okay, throwing strikes and making them put the ball in play, or striking them out with your screwball, right? So. And
do you have an idea that you have a perfect game and no hitter going? Do the girls still talk to you? I know in baseball everyone stays away from the pitcher, but
yeah, I mean, I kind of knew the fourth inning, I kind of thought I did, but I just didn't want to think about it because I didn't want to jinx myself.
Right, no jinxing allowed. What was the other perfect game? What part of the season was that in? I didn't even know that, to be honest, until I was talking to Coach Carino after her second one of the season. When was the first one?
The Harvey game.
Harvey game, okay.
Yeah, and that was another dominating performance, which also helped you guys become CVC champions. So take us through this season and how going against the CVC, how the entire season has gone for you.
It's gone good. We're in a different conference this year, and I just feel like this year, as a team's been a growing year, and I think that we've been doing good.
Yeah, without a doubt, and different division of the CVC. But as we're talking about CVC, we should also mention that Sophie was the CVC most valuable player. The player of the year, MVP of the entire conference. We were CVC co-champions with West Geauga. So congratulations on that as well. And then, so that obviously that West G, those couple of games, that rivalry. We handled everybody else in the league fairly easily. What did those games feel like in regards to playing somebody in our division? We're not going to see them in the postseason probably, but same size school, and then obviously they're dominating the CVC teams. We're dominating them, and then you get a chance to play them head to head.
It was definitely good for us to play some better teams because some of the other teams in our conference aren't that good. So it was good to just get those two good games in against a good team.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you guys had another inning, I think you guys would have ended up beating West G here. It was just a slow start got you guys, and then you guys really picked momentum up towards the end of that game. So this final stretch that you guys were in before the postseason, talk about playing the tougher teams, the teams that are maybe higher in division or that are in the postseason, higher seeds. How important was that in that final week, seeing playoff caliber teams?
It was really important, especially seeing all those pitchers we saw. The Independence pitcher was really good, the Chardon girl, the Wycliffe girl, and it was good to see those pitchers before the playoffs, because some of the other teams we played have been all right.
How long did the bruise stay from the Independence pitcher?
It's still there, but yeah.
Oh, she plunked you?
Yeah.
Where at? Right on the. We'll get a little photo evidence there. All right, right on the forearm. All right.
And now, obviously, last year was a 3-man rotation for you in your freshman year. Now this year, sharing mound time with Morgan. But how important has the development of Emma been behind the plate? Obviously, Roz was there last year and for a number of years behind the plate, but the leadership and the ownership that Emma has taken with the catcher position.
I think she's been doing really good, especially because she really never caught last year or anything. Yeah. So I think her working with Infalvi and just gaining more confidence has really helped her.
And then what pitches, let's get specific here a little bit, dive into the details a little. What pitches do you throw, and which one is your favorite or your best, in your opinion?
I throw a fastball, a screwball, a changeup, a curveball, and a rise ball. Okay. And my favorite's probably my screwball.
Okay. So what's the difference between a curveball and a screwball?
A screwball goes inside to right-handed batters, and the curveball goes outside to right-handed batters.
Got it. So that screwball will you're trying to jam the right-handed batter with the screwball. Okay.
And as the pitching has developed and really carried this team along this season, just talk about how some of the younger freshmen and some of the first-year varsity players have really meshed and gelled with this unit, now that they're, I don't want to say comfortable, but getting comfortable being here.
Yeah, I think a lot of the new girls are really have stepped up and made some plays in big situations, and I think that they're doing really good.
And so, as much as you are on the mound for us and an important role, obviously, in the game of softball, everybody knows pitcher is extremely important, but you're hitting the ball just as well. So your presence at the plate is a huge a plus for us as well. So what is your approach at the plate? Is it different now? You started the year as a leadoff hitter. You're in that 4 spot now. Is there a different approach that you have to have mentally between those 2 spots?
I mean, not really. I'm kind of going in with the same approach, just attack the first pitch I like and hit a line drive somewhere.
Okay.
And for you, how has travel softball helped in your development? Obviously, this year you have a couple more travel players on the roster than maybe was expected. How has that benefited your career?
It's benefited a lot just because travel, there's really no off season, so I stay fresh most of the year and definitely see a lot of good competition in travel.
So are you a superstitious player at all, or do you not really buy into that? Do you do anything at the plate the same, when you're getting ready for an at bat, are you doing the exact same thing or anything? Do you do anything superstitious?
I mean, not really. No? I don't feel.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's straight. Some people are. A couple weeks ago, when we talked with Morgan or when we had Connor on, and I'm sure Justin later. I'm sure he has. It's that I think the unique to baseball and softball and any sport. I guess there's once one thing works for you, you keep going back to it until it doesn't work anymore. You have to switch it up.
That's right. All right. Well, so if you've had a great year. We're playing now in a district final against Hubbard here Thursday night out at North Ridgeville, 5 p.m. Let's hope we can get some people out. It's not the closest game to play. So we have a team coming from Youngstown and a team in Lake County, Ohio. We're each they're going to travel way further than we are, but we're playing on the west side of Cleveland. It is what it is. To win that game and be district champs again. And continue to make a run after if we're able to do that. What does this team need to be able to do in order to keep this victory train rolling?
We just need to play for each other and not worry about ourselves and just stay locked in and make plays and hit the ball.
Okay. Sounds like an easy plan.
You're right,
Coach Carino. We'll talk to Coach Carino here in a minute. It sounds pretty straightforward. I love it.
Did you guys have a little chip on your shoulder coming into this year? Obviously, we've talked about it. I'm sure you've heard all the outside noise of graduating all the seniors, and this team's going to have the down year. But you guys are trending to repeat what you guys did last year, making the longest run in Perry history.
Yeah, definitely. I feel a lot of people kind of counted us out because of all our seniors graduating. Yeah. I think that we're doing a good job just doing what we do.
Yeah, from a senior-led team last year, certainly, to 0 seniors this year. We did not have a senior night for softball, so let's just put that out there. We have no seniors on this team. We're totally an underclass. We've got freshmen, sophomore, and junior led team, and they're doing a great job. And I'm excited about the game tomorrow. Unfortunately, I can't be there. We're hosting our big district track meet here tomorrow. We have about 30 teams coming to Perry, so get the win so I can go to Bowling Green the following week. All right, so that's just the other footnote. If we're able to get things done tomorrow, our regional semifinal game would be next Wednesday, the 28th, I believe. Out at 27th, whatever. Next Wednesday, Bowling Green. So we're gonna have to get I don't know. We're gonna have to stay in a hotel or something, Coach Carino. I mean, I don't know. That's gonna be a long trip. Hopefully, we make it a couple of times though. We'll certainly be willing to make that trip if we're playing in the regional. So, Sophie, before we get you out of here, just some get to know you questions. We know you answered these last year. We'll just see if anything's changed for you in the last year or so. What is your favorite food?
Probably steak.
Steak, all right. Like homemade steak?
Yeah.
Dad making the steak
Yeah.
at home? Or you're not going to Outback or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Favorite subject in school?
Math.
Math. Good answer with Coach Carino sitting here. Favorite movie or television series?
My favorite movie's probably Happy Gilmore.
Okay, I love that. That's a good one. Hobbies. You're a multi-sport athlete, obviously, here at Perry. Basketball, you're playing softball. Your travel softball is big in the summer for you. Any hobbies outside of the athletic side?
I like to build Legos and hang out with my friends.
Cool. All right. Favorite app or game on your phone?
TikTok.
TikTok. Yep. All right. That's pretty standard.
Yes. Oh, every week.
Yeah, every week. Favorite memory from Perry. So, again, you're a sophomore. Still got a couple more years to go here. So, what are some of your favorite memories so far in your experience here and anywhere? But K to 10.
I think Elise's hit in the regional semifinals game last year.
I agree. I mean, it's just always gonna be at the top. And I've been doing this for 25 years, and it's gonna be one of my top memories. When I do retire, when I'm out of this job, it's still gonna be right there. It was awesome. So I agree with you 1,000%. Visit any place in the world. Where are you heading?
I don't know, Australia.
Australia sounds good. All right, it's like a 26-hour flight,
Yeah.
so it would be worth it, I
Yeah.
bet. All right, Sophie Savon, our female athlete of the week, second perfect game, CVC MVP. Let's keep it rolling, Soph. Great job so far, and
Thank
good
you.
luck tomorrow against Hubbard at North Ridgeville.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Enjoy the food. Let's just keep the softball thing going here. We'll bring up Coach Carino. You guys can just switch spots. So if you can go back to class, or we're in ice here, so we got a couple of minutes before. But Coach Carino, congrats on the win last night.
Thank you.
District semifinal game, to get a shutout, 14-0, to get 5 innings and get out of there. We beat the rain. It didn't end up coming until later anyway. So
It's okay.
would've
We got
made
it in.
We got it in. That was the big thing, because we probably wouldn't necessarily be playing today. So it was good we got it in. So congratulations, getting back to a district final, back-to-back years. Let's just talk about this team in general first, and what it's meant to sort of be able to have to duplicate some of the success that we've seen getting back to a district final like we had last year.
Yes, I was writing the preseason, what are they called? The previews before
Yeah.
the season, and my quote was, we're cautiously optimistic, because you want to be optimistic, but I didn't want to expect, it's good to have high expectations, but we didn't really know what we were going to get coming in. So it's definitely been exceeded. It's done the cautiously optimistic, and we've been on the optimistic side. So that was it's been a great season. It's been fun.
Well, yeah, and we had you on about 8 weeks ago. We were 2-0 at the time, and here we sit 25 games later. We're 22-5, CVC champs, co-champs, district semifinals, and so it's been a great run. So hats off to you and our coaching staff and the kids. Again, with no seniors, let's just talk about what of the junior class, I guess, our pseudo seniors here on this team. What have they meant to the leadership part of sort of having to, be the seniors of the team, so to speak?
Yes, our returning juniors, our returning varsity starting juniors, Morgan Winters, Sophie Savant, or not Sophie, I'm sorry, she's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Ari Rogers and Emma Brainerd have really taken leadership, maybe not so much vocally, maybe a little bit vocally, but really by example. You know, their work ethic, all three of them, their work ethic outside of the sport, outside of practice is evident. And I think some of our young kids that maybe didn't really like softball so much, or it wasn't their number one, or I think some of them are starting to like it. I feel like it's starting to, be okay. I know I asked one person, I'm not going to say, but
sure.
Yeah, I kind of like the sport. And, and there was a different attitude with another player I talked to yesterday about possibly wanting to play in the summer. And that stuff just wasn't happening earlier. They were like, I just want to play at school and be done. But maybe we can get some more people to play and play outside of school. So it's been a good thing for, I think, the attitudes with the girls.
That's great.
Is that one of the things that maybe you're most proud of over the last 4 years since you've retaken over the reins at the softball program, getting the youth back, not the rec program, but I guess the rec and the kids getting interested in travel too? I'm trying
to make that happen, but it's been a little bit of it's been a challenge to get some of the players to want to go play travel. It's expensive. I understand it's a big, huge commitment with parents, and not everybody's into it. And I have to understand that it's not for everybody. If we can get 3 kids per class, I think that would do it. So 3 kids per class going out and playing high level softball will really keep this program sustained. We have 3 kids from our junior class that put in a ton of high-level travel, and it's carrying us right now because really we don't have anybody else on the team that has played real high-level travel for a long time besides those 3, and you can see what those 3 kids are doing with the team. So, yes, the goal was to get some young getting into more competitive softball, because another reason why when you don't play the competitive softball, the athletes get bored and they don't like to just walk and walk. It's awful for the athletes. Our athletes are not playing because it's boring. So our athletes need to go out and play high level softball so that they don't get bored and they realize it is a pretty intense sport and can be very challenging and can really be a sport that's makes you competitive and what those athletes really want to do and compete. But again, if you're not playing high level, it could be a pretty brutal sport.
Yeah. And the last time we talked with you at the really beginning part of that season, the unknown on the defensive side was sort of key to that conversation. How has it grown with so many spots featuring new varsity players at the time, and how have they grown throughout the season?
So when you after tryouts and after we're practicing indoors, you kind of get an idea of where to start from, and then you put them in games, and then things change because some kids are over their heads in certain positions, or it's not working out, or so we were able to get through the majority of our conference without much change. But then when those games were done and we started playing the better competition where the players were hitting, and we were able to then try different things out. I told the kids, I go, this next week and a half are going to be about putting people in different positions to see what is going to be our best option going into the playoffs. For the most part, the kids handled it well, and we think we came up with a lineup, hopefully, that will work. But, we started one change we made. Haley Reed was our left fielder for the majority of the year. She is a tremendous infielder as well as outfielder, and she's got quick. She kind of reminds me of a Maddie Infalvi at second base, so we brought her in the infield because she gives us range, and she can catch those pop-ups that are behind her, which is very important at second base. So we made that change, and with Ella having to move over, Ella does a great job at second base too. But when Sophie pitches, we don't have a shortstop, so we have to have another solid infielder. So everything kind of changes. Then Dakota, who I pulled out of my Algebra 2 class last year. She's never played a softball game in her life until last year. Who would have thought she'd be starting on a varsity team, never playing a rec game, never playing a travel game, just playing JV softball, and that's it. And she has done a really nice job learning how to track a fly ball. and she's actually put some really good bunts down for us in games. The Wycliffe game, she had a tremendous bunt for us. It was perfect. We scored on it. It was a bunt down the right side. I didn't even have to tell her what to do. I told her what to do, but she knew what to do before. She's just she's just very athletic, and she's just a stud athlete that's been able to catch on. That doesn't happen often, bringing somebody out of a classroom freshman year and being able to play some softball.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest. I mean, you've been able to bounce her both left and right, starting in right and then, now over in left now that you've moved Claire back out, into the outfield. And really, Ari's going to cover most of the ground out there. But you have 3 quick outfielders now. And as you mentioned, getting that middle solidified with 2 speedsters as well, really taking away those bloops and, other potential hits that could happen.
Yeah, and that was actually, the outfield's my spot. That's where I played. That's what I work with the most. And I knew coming in that we were going to have an athlete. We were not going to lose much in the outfield this year because our athletes in the outfield, when we had at the beginning, I'm talking about the beginning when we had Haley and Dakota and Ari, we just have 3 super fast athletes out there that are really, none of them like to lose, and they're all very ultra competitive. So at the beginning, Haley's hesitant to dive, and Dakota same thing, but both of them are going all out for balls, and I think Ari's intensity in the outfield just rubs off on them, and they don't want to be second fiddle to anybody, and they're going to just pick up their game. So the outfield's been a pleasant surprise.
And we might have asked you this the last time you were here, but Ari, last night became the 4th Pirate with 100 hits, RBI, and runs scored, in their career, and she still has another year to go. When you had her as a freshman to where she is now, where has she grown the most? I mean, she's been a phenomenal player for all 3 years.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I met her when she was probably in 7th grade because her sister was coming in and she was pitching for us. Her sister, Lexi, was pitching, and Ari was coming in to catch for her because we needed catchers in the off season. And I was like, this girl's not going to be that good. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And then she came in and just was lights out freshman year. And I told Ari to her face, I'm like, I was not expecting this. She's like, yeah, I wasn't that good. I wasn't good then. And she played those 2 years of travel ball from 7th and 8th grade, and she improved night and day. It was like different person from 7th grade to 9th grade, and she just keeps getting better every time she plays. She just loves the sport and keeps getting better. She's a stud athlete.
And Sophie Svan, again, led the way. 8 Pirates received all CBC honors at our meeting a few weeks ago. Sophie was, again, MVP of the league. What has Sophie sort of meant to this team this year, obviously, both on the mound and at the plate?
Yeah, Sophie and Morgan have had dominant years pitching, both of them. Sophie is a little bit more of a strikeout pitcher than Morgan, which helps a little bit because we don't have an experienced defense. But when Morgan pitches, Sophie really anchors that defense, and we become a really solid defensive team when Morgan's out on the mound. So both have their pluses and minuses, and I have no hesitation to pitch either one of them in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, like having that 1-2 punch. How does that? I mean, it's got to be a good feeling as a coach to have confidence in either.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when we start Sophie, so this last week we wanted to start Sophie and then bring Morgan in, and start Morgan and then bring Sophie in to see how each did in each role. And I feel like they could both do either role, but I think what we found out was that Morgan is dominant in relief. She's come in the
tough situations,
very tough situations. The Ursuline game against all her best competition and shut them down. She's really, really been the going from Sophie to Morgan has really been what I feel like is the best option for playoffs because of how it worked out in the regular season.
I'll tell you, I mean, and as you know, because you were there, but those 2 plays that Sophie made on Friday at Elyria Catholic, the one up the middle, the bloop where I thought her and Ari were going to collide into each other because, as we talked about, Ari was just going full speed regardless. But the plays that she's able to take away at short are also have been kind of eye-opening this year as well for with the time that she's not on the mound. It's been great.
She's never played shortstop either, right?
Yeah, right. So she's a third baseman.
She plays outfield, I think, for her travel team.
Right.
So she doesn't even play infield. She's tremendous shortstop, outstanding. She might not do the diving spectacular plays that some shortstops do, but I'm not going to expect my pitcher to go out there and do that because we don't need to get injured. So, but she does make the routine, and actually more than the routine play.
Yeah.
She's very good at shortstop.
And you kind of touched on her already, but I think Ella's becoming my favorite player on the team. And from being able to bounce her both back and forth, but she really has solidified that 5 spot in your lineup as well, both as a hitter. She has a little bit more power than I thought, but she could also use her speed and lay down a bunt and play small ball.
Yes, Ella coming in this year, she was a little fiery, and it was great because she would come into our off-season winter stuff. She'd come to our stuff, and then she'd go right to another practice for her travel, and then she'd go right to a catching coach because when I put it in her ear, I said, she was a pitcher. I'm coming in as a pitcher, and I'm going to pitch. I said, well, we have 2 really good pitchers, so you need to probably have another backup position.
Just in case.
So what else can you do?
Right.
And I'm like, have you ever caught? Because we didn't know how Emma was going to.
Yeah.
We really didn't know how Emma was going to turn out, and that was a huge surprise too, and it was a great surprise.
Yep.
But I wanted a backup plan in case that didn't work out. So Ella decides to go take some catching lessons, and she's all about catching, right? So she was doing that, and then infield at shortstop and second base. She's never played second base until I played her in a winter game, and she's like, oh, I love that. I was good, and she played good.
Yeah.
So she just does anything you ask her to do. And she's another really competitive girl, and she does not have much travel ball experience. I think she has had 1 year prior. She's on the Cobras, but that just happened, so she hasn't played with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she just has 1 year of travel ball experience coming in.
That's
so
awesome.
Again, basically, not a real experienced travel ball player, really picking it up.
And let's talk about Emma again. You touched on her there just a little bit. She was on earlier in the year. We had her. She was one of our athletes of the week early on because she had a tremendous impact on us right at the beginning of the year. We didn't know what to expect from her. We talked all winter about not having a catcher, and we were lamenting Roz being gone and just what has Emma meant being able to sort of be that cornerstone back there behind the plate and that rock behind the plate that you need your catcher to be.
Well, I think if you saw our Wycliffe game, which you probably didn't, but I know Gene, were you there? Yeah, Gene, you were there.
Yep.
They have a great pitcher over at Wycliffe, but they didn't have a great catcher. They didn't even have a catcher that could catch all the balls, right? And we scored 8 runs, and we didn't get many hits in that game, but we scored because the catcher wasn't able to catch balls necessarily. And that happens with Independence. Independence has a stud pitcher, and how are people hitting her, or how are they winning against her? Because they don't have a catcher that can catch the balls.
Yeah.
So for Emma to come in and receive the balls from 2 really, really good pitchers, it wouldn't have mattered if we could have 2 pitchers. If we didn't have a catcher that could catch the ball on those strike threes and whatever, it wouldn't have mattered how good our pitching was, as you see from other schools.
Yeah.
So Emma is a huge, huge reason for our success this year.
She's a good framer as well. Watching her from behind the plate too, she has really taken this role and ran with it, which is great to see from a girl that kind of bounced around her first 2 years, trying to find a spot, trying to find an identity, and I think getting comfortable at catcher has also helped her at the plate.
That, and I think for sure the confidence in the field. This is her best spot. Maybe she should have started earlier, but she didn't. But she did. She's doing it now, and I think she's going to ask to do it for her travel team. So
that's awesome.
That will help. And then she also got in the weight room and started taking Kristinger's class. And I talked to her the other day about it. I really think though the becoming stronger, becoming a better athlete through the weight training has really helped her.
Yep.
She mentioned it. So we're gonna continue to work on that and get better there
too. The
and
more kids that can get into that strength training class.
To that. We need them there. We need if you're an athlete, you should be taking Coach Kristinger's class.
Yes.
Absolutely. So let's preview Hubbard a little bit. I know they're from Youngstown area. That's about all I know about them. So I don't know what you know, other than last night they were leading 7-0 after 2 innings and then had to win it in the 8th inning in a walk-off fashion. So what what do we know about the Eagles from Hubbard?
Well, I watched the game last night.
Yeah.
So they bunt a lot.
Okay.
They are not afraid to bunt. Their number 3 hitter will bunt. They had runners on second and third, and their number 3 hitter was up, and she bunted.
Wow.
So they're not afraid to lay down a bunt. Their last batter will bunt with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
So we have got to know how to field the bunt. We got to be solid on fielding the bunt.
Yeah.
Their number 1 hitter is down. She crushes the ball. I saw her.
She hits in the 4 spot.
No, their number 8, the leadoff hitter.
The leadoff
is
guy.
a stud hitter.
Okay.
She crushed the ball, I think, 3 times to the fence, the left field fence yesterday.
Okay.
Their number 7 hitter she's the one I think that got the winning hit. She crushed a ball to center field fence, but the other 2 times before that, she was all right side, right down the line, and right center. So she's a right field hitter. On inside pitches, she was taken to the right side, so she's got a nice inside out swing. They're going to be good. It's not going to be an easy game by any means.
Yeah.
It's doable. I think their pitcher's hittable. They scored 10 runs off of her.
Yeah.
Or 9 runs off of her, whatever it was. And so I would assume that we could hit and score off of her as well if we take the right approach. She was a little wild at first, and I think if we make sure we swing at strikes, we'll be all right.
Okay.
And then I think maybe one advantage, and obviously softball pitchers, they're built differently, but 140 pitches the young lady threw last night, so maybe a little fatigue we'll wait to see on Thursday, but I'm sure 48 hours rest will help, and it looked like she just pitched almost every game for them anyway, so I'm guessing this would be a usual output for her.
Yeah, probably. They're a big team. They're definitely you could tell they're well coached and they're strong. They're strong, tall girls. But we'll go out there and we'll play our game and we'll see what happens. I think we have a good chance.
All right, Coach Carino, congrats on a great year again. Another CVC championship, sitting at 22-5. Heading back to the district final tomorrow at North Ridgeville against the Hubbard Eagles. Best of luck, and we'll update everybody here as we go.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, Coach Carino. Yeah, best of luck to our softball team. We're playing well, played very strong all year, and looking for another district championship here tomorrow night.
I'm going to add this to your budget next year,
Yes.
but Elyria Catholic for senior night had a food truck.
Oh.
It was amazing.
Wow,
So
okay.
next year's softball senior night, I think, and maybe even tennis and baseball as well, we need a food truck here, but coming out of your budget instead of the team's budgets.
Okay, well, maybe. Well, all right, I'll just say maybe.
It was open the entire time. It was.
And it was.
Oh.
Was it?
Pulled pork, ribs,
And
anything that you could think of.
But you had to pay for it.
You did not.
What?
The Elyria Catholic picked up the bill for senior night.
For you guys
Everybody.
too?
Everybody in attendance.
Wow, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Maybe for the Perry Pirates, I would say. But if we're playing Madison,
or if you can get us to Elyria Catholic next year again for senior night.
Okay, well, that just worked out.
I mean, it was an hour drive, but it was definitely well worth it.
That man, I would have made the drive if I would have known that.
Yes.
I did not even know that was happening. All right, good information there. Good inside info. I'm wondering how they pulled that off. That's very interesting. All right, we'll stay on the baseball, softball path here. We'll bring up our male athlete of the week. That is Justin Costello, and he is joining us. Unfortunately, as you can see here, with a big red cast on his wrist, I'll give you a fist bump. Sorry to hear that. I did not even know. I saw, Justin graduated on Sunday. He's one of our many seniors on our softball team, and I saw him in this big. It was bigger on Sunday, so you must have had just.
Yeah, this was yesterday.
Okay, so he had this big thing on, and it happened at the captain's game Friday night, and we had events here Friday night and then Saturday, so I hadn't heard and I did not know, and it ruined my day. So take us through the play. How did it happen? First of all, sorry that it had to happen. That stinks. But yeah, take us through that whole scenario.
So it was, I think, the bottom of the sixth. We were
Okay.
up about 7-3. I think there was guys on base. I'm pretty sure first and second or second and third. I was
Yeah.
playing right field.
Okay.
Foul ball actually hit by one of my good friends from summer ball.
No.
So I saw it go up, and
Yeah.
I thought I had to go get that, and took me into foul territory. I put my life on the line. I dove head first and tried to put my hand down and kind of went over it. Made the catch, Still put my glove up.
You did make the catch.
I made the catch. I
That
put my
is
glove
sweet.
up, showing the
Okay.
ump I had it, and I
Right.
went down, and I knew it was broke.
You knew.
It sucks that it happens, but
Yeah.
I stayed for the rest of the game.
Okay.
I couldn't miss out on the captain's field, and
right.
went to the ER after, and I broke my radius in my forearm, my wrist. So
Okay.
I'm out for the rest of the Perry season,
Yeah.
and then probably about 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks. So you still be able to play some summer ball?
Yeah,
Depends. Okay, you're hoping to get back for some summer ball.
If I get ready like the speediest way,
Yeah.
I think I'll be back by
Okay.
July 4th.
Perfect. Okay, that's good to hear.
Now, if this wasn't a travel ball teammate, would you have pulled up a little bit, or would you still have gone all out for this thing?
I probably still would have gone all out.
Okay.
Okay. Now again, yeah, I think when you were here after signing day, you talked about transitioning to the outfield, and how has that transition gone? Have you played a lot of outfield this year for Coach Platt, or I know you were a very good infielder the last couple of years.
Most games I started at second. Every conference game I started at second, and then whenever we would put Nolan in to pitch or Shea would go into second, it was just an easy push for me to go out to right. I've played all 3 outfield spots this season for Coach Platt. I've played third base, played second base, and it's pretty easy. I mean, I don't really get much practice for IO in the outfield, but it's an easy switch, and I'm glad to make the switch for Platt and whenever we need it.
Justin Costello is Daniel Schneidman.
Yeah, right.
Right for the Guardians. Yeah, he plays all over the field. So, yeah, just a tremendous career, Justin. We wish you nothing but the best. Going on to play at Lake Erie College. So, heal up, hang in there. It's a loss for our team. Obviously, he's not happy about it either. We're certainly not. We're gonna need him. But sometimes that's how sports works, and it's going to fall to some other sort of next man up mentality from our team standpoint. And I know you'll be rooting them on, being there. Any future coaching aspirations? You could get into some coaching roles here this postseason and keep involved that way. I'm not sure. I know exercise science is going to be your major, so maybe give the coaching side and some guidance. Those guys are young that are going to be replacing you, and you can help guide them a little bit. It'll be interesting. What is it like? Let's go back to Captain's Stadium. Obviously, it didn't end great, but what's it like playing in that park, in a minor league park, in that setting? What is it like to go back and play there? We do it every year. It's a nice little tradition that we have.
It's probably one of my favorite games of the season.
Yeah.
You get to be in the dugout and you get to warm up on the field. Now, you're not allowed to wear your spikes on the field until game time.
Okay.
But just like being in the dugout and you know the talent that's been in the dugout, playing your position, and you look up onto the second deck and it says all the players' names, and you can say, oh, I'm playing here and Jose played here. And it's super cool, and I love going there every year.
That's awesome.
What is it like having that second level, being a fielder, being even in the outfield, like having that second level? It's not a net or a fence behind. It's a whole stadium that wraps around. Do you prepare differently? Did it take some time to adjust, or was it just another baseball game for you?
It was just another game. The field is way more true than ours. It plays like a turf field. They water it in between games and every few innings, so it's treated like the best, and it's my favorite field to play on just because of the surface.
I'm sure one of the goals coming into this year was to get back to the postseason, CVC champions, which you guys ended up doing, going perfect, 10-0. How was CVC play this year? Was it what you guys expected, and what changed or what clicked to kind of turn it on against those opponents?
I think what clicked was we had to treat every game like a playoff game. You can't go into the games and think, oh, this team's got 1 out of 5 wins, and you have to treat it like they're way better than you. And it started at Hawken. We swept them, and it kind of got the momentum going, but we knew we had more in us. And then Hartman gave us a talk and said, you got to treat it like a playoff game, and that's how we did. And we ended up finishing it off against West G.
Yeah, and we started 5-5, and I think it's probably a little bit of an inverse from softball, where softball really had some strong competition toward the end of their schedule and maybe not as much at the beginning. For us, being down south in South Carolina and Georgia and seeing those high-level teams that have been playing for a month and a half already, and we're our first game, but we go 5-5, but then we finished 20-6. So do the math there. 5-5 to 20-6. We're on a very, very much of a hot streak in terms of playing, winning the majority of our games. Now we're into, so we talked CVC. Now we're into the postseason play. We've got Akron Buckle here tomorrow night. So Thursday the 21st, it's going to be a busy time on campus. We've got district track, like I said, about 30 teams here for district track. We're going to have a sectional baseball game against Buckle going on. And so parking will be at a premium, everybody. But what do we need to do to make another run in the postseason, Justin? From a team perspective, Buckle, obviously a lower seed than us, we'll expect to win that game. But I will say, in the sport of baseball, probably more so than any other sport, football or basketball or wrestling, where you can sort of project things a little bit. Baseball has a way of the ball bounces funny, your pitcher's off, somebody's gets really high, one of the hitters goes 4 for 4, and you'll lose a game that you don't expect. So how do we have, and that happened to us last year, probably. Girard came in and their pitcher threw a hell of a game, and they ended up beating us. How do we sort of maneuver through that minefield of what the baseball postseason can be?
I think it's keeping the same mindset. You can't play down to your opponents, and probably just playing together. When something bad happens, you got to flush it, and you got to work that out as a team. And the mentality of, if you strike out or do bad, but you can't take that out to the field. You can't snowball to make an error. You got to kind of keep that the way it is and play good throughout the whole game. And probably just playing small ball, play our way.
Yeah.
Trust Coach Platt with his bunts and his steals and his hit and runs and all of his gimmicks. We have 140 steals as a team. I think just keeping that up and having the top of our order steal and then the bottom hit us in.
Okay.
And now that obviously you'll be watching for the sideline, how does your role change a little bit now? I mean, obviously you're going to be there supporting your team, not being able to do it at the plate or in the field. So how does your role change, over these next couple games? I'm sure practice this week was probably tough for you, just being there but having to watch.
It was tough just having to watch. I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
And I think I just have to keep positive and keep coaching on my teammates and make sure that I can help them in every way possible. And especially with the infielders, I think I can help them pretty good. And Nolan will probably be starting. He's a freshman, so helping him out too.
And you kind of alluded to it, speed, small ball, that kind of thing. If you're scouting the Pirates, where are strengths? What are some of maybe the weaknesses that, maybe I shouldn't say weaknesses, areas you guys still need to touch up, as postseason play starts tomorrow?
I'd say our strengths is we're one of the deepest teams in the area. I noticed it in the conference games, and there's a lot of guys who are maybe not playing as much as they should on our team, but you look at another team that we're playing, and they'd probably be one of their best players. And it sucks that has to happen, but we're easily one of the deepest teams. And one of the things I think that we could work on is just getting those big hits, not leaving too many runners on base, and trying to, when we have guys in scoring position, getting them in any way possible.
I was just saying, and this being your senior year, obviously this group you've grown up with, I think we talked about it on signing day and even through football, but this group of baseball guys, a unique bond that you guys have built. What has this senior class meant to you? And, as this run continues, maybe even to the Pirates program, this group, this legacy that they're going to leave?
I think this senior class is special. We have so many awesome players and guys who got CVC, first team, second team, honorable mention. And the senior class is, for me, they're obviously my best friends, but I think that we really exceeded our expectations with us, especially with a bigger class too. And senior night was super fun for us. We all got to play together.
Yeah. Well, and it's great. Again, this senior class, I said it at our awards ceremony, our senior breakfast last Friday. I didn't even add them up. It's a countless number of CVC championships that they've contributed to in their 4 years. They were part of our first team state championship. Several of them were on the field that day in 2023. So, I mean, the fact that the word legacy, I think, means a lot to this group, and they certainly have left it. This class is great. And Justin's one of the leaders. He had won our Archie Griffin / Chagrin Valley Conference Sportsmanship Award, which is really we're looking for our best of our best, a female and a male athlete, and he and Adriana Polzer were our representatives, and they're just first class people, and that's what we want to be about. We want to try to be first class in everything we do, and you epitomize that. You've had a great career, and we appreciate it, and wish you nothing but the best in the future. I won't put you through all of the questions since you did them in the fall. We already know all your favorites, but you do get some food. You get your. Did you get the box combo the last time? Okay, so that's new.
This is new for me.
Mrs. Canes is a new sponsor here, so you get a box combo and your DQ Blizzard and whatever it is meal deal. So enjoy.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Justin. Great career here at Perry, and we again best of luck in the future. And I know you'll be rooting us on in the right way in the dugout.
So
all right, Jessica Costello.
As you mentioned, the boys in action tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this being a OHSA playoff game,
Yep.
you do have to pay to get in.
You do. Yeah, same for track. Most people aren't used to paying for track meets. We had to pay to get into tennis last week down at Worcester. We'll talk with Coach Walker here in a moment. So anything postseason-wise, the OHSA is going to try to nickel and dime us and get you to pay. So both baseball tomorrow at home, 5 p.m., and track. There is a fee you're going to have to pay to get in to watch those events. So, and come early because the parking we're going to be sort of overflow situation. We'll do what we can to mitigate that. But unless you want to park at the middle school, you're probably going to be in the grass somewhere. Coach Walker, come on up. Head coach of our boys tennis program, Rob Walker, is joining us here. Coach, thanks for taking the time. Sort of, beating a dead horse here, but CVC champs again this year for tennis. So we won CVC championships in baseball, softball, tennis, and boys track. Girls were runners up on the girls track side. So pretty successful spring for the Pirates overall. Let's just, before we get into the postseason stuff, let's just sum up the season overall and what your takeaway was. Obviously, sort of ran through the CVC. Hosted the tournament here, won it, but then we did get to challenge ourselves with some matches outside of the conference as well.
Yeah, we've had some tough matches on the year. First time I think we beat Ursuline in 4 or 5 tries.
Yeah.
Went out there. We beat Geneva this year. It was another good win. Lost a close one. Couple 3-setters against Chagrin. So we played some good competition.
And how was the turnout for the boys program this year? And was there maybe a player that surprised or maybe played above the level you were expecting this year?
We've really just the one contributing freshman, Miles, that stepped up when we were short players.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else played varsity tennis last year. Nothing new to it. Caden had another good year. Drew Morris had some good wins at second singles. They teamed up and played some doubles during the regular season as well against a couple good teams.
Yeah, so let's talk about that process. I know it was sort of a work in progress all year. Who's going to play doubles? Who's not going to? How are you going to work the postseason? And we did have the boys on last week, so we talked to them a little bit. And one of the new rules this year is you can actually play 3 teams. You can enter 3 doubles teams into the sectional tournament. So you have 7 players on a varsity lineup. You usually have 3 singles. And then 2 doubles teams, so 4 players. That equals your 7. So now you can have 6 of your players play doubles and 1 singles player. So how did it work out? Just something the boys wanted to do. How do you go about making those decisions in regards to the postseason once that regular season has ended?
It is new. Started first school year, calendar year with it. With the girls did it. In the fall.
Yep.
This was the first year for the boys.
Okay.
We didn't actually do ours that way.
Yeah.
We went traditional but moved our first and second singles to play doubles. There was just a lot of teams that went that route, so figured we had a better chance, even with our doubles players having to play singles. And a couple of them were close to getting to districts and singles, playing doubles all year. It was kind of a last-minute thing that Caden and Drew, I think the lineup had to be in on Sunday at noon, and got a message at 10:30. Already had turned in my lineup and kind of made changes to it because you didn't make them till noon. So it was kind of a last-minute thing. Figured they could go farther as a team. Just missed getting out to districts as well was Benny and Bronson. First round had a tough match against the team that qualified, losing 10-8 tiebreaker. Didn't even get to play a full third set with the rules of sectionals. So it was a tough one.
And you're getting your two guys ready, Caden and Andrew. Do you know ahead of time maybe some teams are going to start to form up and take their ones and twos, or is it kind of a surprise? I'm sure you talk to a number of coaches and try to pull as much as you can, and then maybe go back and forth. Like, hey, it now might be easier if you guys play singles, or how much mind games did you play with yourself for a couple days?
There's a little bit of jockeying around. I knew majority of them. Then you also are taking your best guesstimate on ones that you don't have that camaraderie with. That call them up and send a text like, "What are you guys doing?" Most of the schools around here have a good enough relationship with their coaches that I had a good idea of what most schools, like Hawken, I knew that they were taking 3 doubles heavy. I knew Beechwood was doing that. Kind of knew Geneva was taking their 1 and 2. So it really, the singles were probably on the weaker side of I've ever really seen it this year versus past years. But we went that route thinking they could go farther. Almost got both teams 2 districts. Instead, we just got the 1. But going 2 districts on Friday, we have to win 2.
How did that draw go? So the draw has been released. And we will play Friday at Springside Racket Club. They've got indoor and outdoor courts, so hopefully the weather holds and we're able to play outside. How does that draw look for this weekend?
On paper, it's about as good as you can get. We got the number 2 seed from the the number 3 seed from the Boardman draw, which is favorable, and we have the 4 seed out of the strongest section, which is best possible you can get. But it's probably not their 4th best team. I think the one kid was sick. We'll have to play well. It's a good team from Hawken that if we get through the first one, that we'll have to beat. But
Canfield, I believe, will be our opening round match. So that's that 3 seed out of the Boardman area. So we'll see how that. Obviously first things first, but then that go-to state match would be that next match with Hawken, or who do they play? Is it Chagrin Falls?
Hawken or Chagrin.
So it's one of those 2.
Both of those are good teams.
Which would you expect if you're going to be going to the state level? You're going to face a good team, to get there. Absolutely. And then we played at Worcester last week for which is not our normal designation, but about 3 years ago we changed the state.
I believe
changed.
This is the
third year.
Third year.
So if you
4th.
finish in the top, the coaches vote, which is still not the way things should be. That's a very nice way to put it. I give the state a lot of credit because in a lot of sports, football obviously is a computer-generated point program. Same with basketball now, baseball and softball are that way. We need to get to it in all sports because when you leave it up to coaches, those relationships that they have, they're going to vote for their buddy or they're going to vote for their county school. There is a county, let's just say east of us, that they all sort of stick together with their votes. And so it's not really a true ranking system. But hey, we were lucky enough to be in the top 16, so we got to pick where we wanted to go. So Coach Walker, again, just knowing the teams out there and knowing if, all right, Hawkins going to stay on close to home, and we want to stay away from them, and Worcester gave us the best chance to get some teams out, and like you said, we almost got both doubles teams out, and now we've got we were sectional runner up with Andrew and Caden, so they've got about as good of a shot to get to state as we've had here in a little bit, and we'll see how Friday goes. What do they need to do? What are their strengths as a doubles team? We asked them that this week, so we'll see. We'll compare answers, I guess. But.
I would say both of them, the length. Drew being 6'4", being doubles, definitely has a longer reach. Have to hit a higher lob to get it over his head. Definitely the length of the net play is probably their strongest. Both can serve well. Caden's got that lefty serve. That's hard to
that spins
hard
a little
to handle.
bit.
Been practicing with them, and I have a hard time handling it. So
well, he said his serve for sure.
Yeah.
He felt his was the strongest, and
they'll have to serve well. If they serve well, they can beat anybody.
Okay.
And with almost a week off in between, how are you guys? How are you adjusting practices, or how are you even handling practices this week?
I saw you out there yesterday. He and Audrey Austin were taking the Caden and Andrew on. Did you guys keep score?
Smoking both games?
It was close.
Okay.
We did keep score.
Okay.
Audrey's tough.
She is.
Flat ball.
I watched a couple of points. She's very good.
Yeah, so she's tough. I've had someone every day fill in and be our fourth, rotating around, seeing different people. They went and played in some of the guys at the club the other day.
Yeah.
3 different sets on Monday night, so they've had a different look of different players, not just me beating balls at them. So
Right.
Trying to give them kind of get familiar more with the doubles. Singles, it's a different game.
It is. Absolutely.
So learning the doubles and where to be and what to look for, kind of those items.
Okay. All right, Coach. Well, thanks again for spending some time. Congrats on another great year, CVC Championship, and still a team alive here at the district tournament on Friday. We'll update everybody on Twitter, and we'll be down there watching.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Rob Walker, boys tennis, and good luck to Andrew and Caden on Friday. Looking forward to it.
Now, do you head out there Friday? I know you
will,
have track
yes.
responsibilities.
We have track Thursday night and Saturday, so it's a bit of an off day, but there will still be some things to do. And then we are also host Friday night now of a district final Division 6 game, neutral site game.
Oh, nice.
So Independence actually thought they were going to be in that game, and that's why that game was moved from Indy to Perry, and then they got upset by Sullivan Black River. So Sullivan Black River and Mogador will be heading to Perry Friday night for a 5 o'clock district final. It's actually supposed to be tonight, but Mogador has graduation, so can't do that and play in a district final game. So we moved it to Friday, and it looks like maybe it was a good move anyway, based on the weather that we're experiencing today. A little rainy out there, but so we've got a busy 3 days here in a row. Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be jam packed. So I will be down there during the day on Friday, and then back for that neutral site game Friday night.
And we've touched on it a couple of times, alluded to it, but track districts are here on Thursday and Saturday. So when do events start? What events? And how does that all work out over those 2 days?
Our field events tomorrow. So the way, that if you're a track fan, you know this already, but we try to split up because you're allowed to compete in 4 events in track. And some are field events and some are running events. You can sort of cross over. 4 p.m. for running on Thursday, 4 p.m. for field events, 5:30 for running. So field is always before run, 4 p.m. and 5:30 on Thursday. And then on Saturday, 10 a.m. field events, 11:30 a.m. Running event finals. So our prelims and everything like that, we have a 32-mile 2-mile race that is a final on Thursday, and a 4x8 race that is a final on Thursday as well. But other than that, all the finals will be on Saturday for our running.
And then from there, the athletes that advance here from Perry, they go on to the
Austintown
sectionals.
Fitch. They go on to regionals.
Or regionals, yes.
Yep, regionals at Austintown Fitch. So, it's weird how the wording of it from different sports is different things. There's sectional baseball, softball, but there's not sectionals for track or cross country. But so we goes district, regional, state. So our regionals, anybody advancing, the top 4 fastest times advance from the district meet onto regionals at Austintown, and then out of regionals to Austintown, you're going to the state meet. The top 4 out of there go. Same with the throws and the jumps and the pole vault. So, it's an exciting time. We love hosting it. This is year 16 that we've actually hosted it, consecutive years now, a district level track competition here, and we have great facilities and great people who volunteer and help out and make it a great event for our kids. And it's an advantage for our kids, in my opinion, to be at home and to not have to get on a bus at 1:30 and drive an hour and a half or whatever, and they get to compete on their home track, and it's a great honor to host it.
So a busy 72 hours here at Perry, starting tomorrow on Thursday, both track and boys baseball, then softball for Division 6, and then come back on Saturday. So a lot of events going on here, featuring Perry, athletes maybe for the last time here at home.
Absolutely, and certainly this is it. I mean, baseball, if we win our game tomorrow against Buckdale, we do get to host one more game next Tuesday. But then we would be on the road after that if we're fortunate enough to win that game. That'll be against Lake Catholic. That'll be a big game. Yeah. So a little bit of a preview again. Not counting the chickens before they're hatched, but we should beat Buckdale. They're a 30-something seed and we're a 4 seed. So, but again, baseball's crazy.
You're right.
You just never know. But we'd love to host Lake Catholic next Tuesday, and then we'd be on to a district final on Thursday. So next week is already shaping up to be another crazy week, right? So, we'll have baseball hopefully on Tuesday, hopefully softball on Wednesday, all the way out in Bowling Green. Thursday, we'd have a district final for baseball on the road, and track at Austintown Fitch for regional track. So, and then Friday would be potentially a girls' softball game back out of Bowling Green. So, and then Saturday back to Austintown Fitch. So there's still a lot of things here that are going on. It may not be home events, but we'll still be featuring our kids for the next, 8, 9, 10, 11 days.
And when Caden and Andrew advance, when would that be?
That would be the following weekend down in Cincinnati, I do believe. So, we play in Akron Friday. They'd have to, if they win 2 matches on Friday, they would go back for placement play seed-wise on Saturday in Akron, and then play the following weekend down in Cincy. So, we'll, between Mindy and I and others administratively, Mr. Nizwicki, Mr. Porcello, Mr. Platt will probably be busy with baseball. But I hope we have to be in 5 different places at once. That means we're doing good things.
Well, I think that's the series then that Al and the kids can work on is GoPro in the car.
Yes.
You from Perry to Toledo to Bowling Green down to Cincinnati and back up to Austintown Fitch.
That sounds like a good YouTube channel video.
Just live stream the entire drive.
Right. Oh yeah,
the entire
that'll
everything.
Good. We'll have to mute it a lot. Anyway, we'll Mr. Kellogg's shaking his head. So we will. It's an exciting time at the end of the day, and we'll keep everybody updated. We'll be back next week for week 34 of the podcast, because we're certainly going to have a lot of things still going on, and we probably will end up with 35 weeks, because we'll go one more following week as we head into state track. We'll certainly have some kids competing down in Columbus at the state track meet, and hopefully we still have a couple of teams, whether it's tennis, baseball, or softball, involved as well. So until week 34 next week, go Pirates.